Here's what nobody tells you about Sturgis before you drop thousands on your first trip. The 2025 rally saw 4 deaths, 66 injury crashes, and 459,000 vehicles flooding into a town of 7,100 people. 7 of 12 riders killed in the surrounding days weren't wearing helmets. This isn't your grandfather's motorcycle rally, and the Black Hills sit at a dangerous intersection between legendary scenery and lethal statistics. Here's the controversy that'll make half of you click away and the other half lean in. The same roads featured in every motorcycle magazine are the exact corners where riders are sliding into oncoming traffic. The question isn't whether you should experience Sturgis. The question is whether you'll survive it with your bike intact and your license valid. I'm about to break down what makes this rally simultaneously the best and worst thing you'll do on 2 wheels, ranked from the philosophical draw to the hard reality of making it home. The Sturgis Motorcycle Rally isn't just another bike week. It's the oldest continuous rally in the world, started August 14, 1938 by Clarence "Pappy" Hull and the Jack Pine Gypsies Motorcycle Club. The Jack Pine Gypsies were inducted into the Motorcycle Hall of Fame in '97, with Pappy Hull himself inducted the following year in 1998. The first Black Hills Motor Classic featured a single day of racing with just 19 participants competing in half-mile track racing, intentional boardwall crashes, ramp jumps, and head-on collisions with automobiles. Today's 10-day festival transforms quiet Sturgis into a temporary city larger than most state capitals. The rally was held every year except during World War II, when organizers decided in 1942 not to hold their regular event until after the war ended, citing inability to obtain high-class talent. The appeal is straightforward: freedom in its purest form. South Dakota doesn't mandate helmets for riders over 18 and takes a hands-off approach that lets adults make adult decisions, even questionable ones at 70 miles per hour through mountain passes. This is precisely why riders from restrictive states make the pilgrimage. But it runs deeper. Sturgis represents the last vestige of true counterculture in America, where corporate sponsorship coexists with outlaw clubs, where millionaire dentists on €30,000 road glides park next to 1%ers on ratty shovelheads, and nobody cares about your day job. It's a temporary autonomous zone where normal rules get suspended. The rally generated $784 million in 2022, proving freedom has become big business without losing its edge. The Buffalo Chip Campground spans 600 acres, billing itself as the best party anywhere with world-famous headliners. The venue's history includes a legendary moment when Lynyrd Skynyrd was directly responsible for the existence of the stage that put the Sturgis Rally on the map and paved the way for decades of legendary rock bands to perform. The Full Throttle Saloon holds the title of world's largest biker bar and even spawned a true TV reality show from 2009 to 2014. The Iron Horse Saloon turned Topless Tuesday into a rally institution running for decades. These aren't family venues, they're adult playgrounds where public nudity laws don't apply on private property. Peak attendance hit 739,000 at the 75th anniversary in 2015. The 2025 rally reached 459,000 vehicles, up 14% from 2014's 470,987. This is the largest motorcycle gathering on the planet. Where else can you ride world-class roads by day, watch ZZ Top at night, and participate in activities that would get you arrested in 49 other states? The rally runs Friday before the first full week of August through the following Sunday, but this freedom philosophy that attracts 500,000 riders also creates conditions for the chaos ahead. Now that you understand why riders risk everything to get here, wait until you see what it actually costs, because the money getting to Sturgis is nothing compared to what you'll drop once you arrive. Most riders show up thinking they've budgeted appropriately. Most leave wondering how they blew through 3 months of motorcycle payments in 10 days. Let's break down real costs. Buffalo Chip passes run several $100s for the full event before fuel, food, and entertainment. Hotel rooms that cost $70 in June suddenly run $300 in August, booked 12 months in advance. Miss the window and you're commuting 30 miles from Rapid City through rally traffic daily. The rally generated $1.58 million in sales tax for South Dakota in 2025, up 13% from 2024. The 2024 rally had 896 temporary vendors. Northern Black Hills vendors collected $992,067 in tax from 699 vendors. Southern Black Hills added $407,434 from 197 vendors. Every single one exists to extract money from your wallet. Real costs come from unexpected expenses. The best riding means serious mileage. Iron Mountain Road and Needles Highway chew through gas and expose every mechanical weakness. That valve tick you've ignored becomes critical 300 miles from home in 90-degree heat. Local shops know they have a captive audience. Services costing $50 at home suddenly run $200 during rally week. Food and drink costs spiral fast. Rally atmosphere encourages constant consumption. $8 craft beers and $20 burgers add up. A typical day might include breakfast at your campground, lunch in Hill City, drinks at Full Throttle, dinner in Deadwood, more drinks at the Chip. You're looking at $100 minimum daily before concert tickets, merchandise, or paid activities. The merch trap is real. Rally-specific items create artificial scarcity, driving impulse purchases. T-shirts run $30 to $40. Leather goods start at several hundred. Most riders leave with hundreds in gear they'll never wear. Entertainment costs keep adding up. Buffalo Chip charges beyond general admission. Full Throttle requires event wristbands. Every activity has a price tag. The free entertainment on Main Street is legitimately free, but you'll spend hours in traffic watching the same bikes cruise by repeatedly. Here's the controversial part nobody discusses openly. The rally has become increasingly expensive because organizers and vendors know the crowd will pay. Economic forces are pricing out younger riders and working-class enthusiasts who made the rally legendary. Average age keeps creeping upward, not because young riders aren't interested, but because they can't afford an event easily costing $5,000 to $10,000 all in. You're sweating the costs, but wait until you see what happens trying to ride these legendary roads while sharing them with 500,000 other motorcycles and drivers who think they're invincible. The Black Hills offer some of North America's most spectacular motorcycle roads, but these same magazine-featured routes produce casualties that keep emergency rooms busy. Iron Mountain Road, US Highway 16A, runs 17 miles connecting Keystone to Mount Rushmore. Famous pigtail bridges loop the road over itself for elevation gain, while tunnels frame Mount Rushmore perfectly. The engineering is brilliant, the views stunning, and the road absolutely punishing if you don't respect it. Over 300 curves include tight switchbacks requiring first-gear maneuvering on heavy touring bikes. Tunnels are narrow enough you're pulling mirrors in, and granite walls offer zero margin for error. The 2025 stats tell what promotional materials won't. Highway Patrol reported 66 injury crashes during 10 days, nearly double the 35 from 2023. 4 deaths occurred during the rally, with a 5th during police pursuit. One Highway 16A fatality involved a 60-year-old who slid into 2 motorcycles navigating a curve, injuring 2 others. Another involved a 58-year-old losing control and sliding into oncoming traffic, hitting 3 bikes. These aren't isolated incidents, they're predictable outcomes combining technical roads with overconfident riders. Needles Highway SD87 provides 14 miles of even more technical riding. The Needles Eye Tunnel measures just 8 feet 4 inches wide, barely passable for motorcycles. Hairpin turns and 270-degree corners demand constant attention. No guardrails means mistakes put you in ditches, or worse. Cathedral Spires section features granite formations towering hundreds of feet above the road. Peter Norbeck's Scenic Byway combines Iron Mountain and Needles into a 70-mile loop, including SD244 and SD89. Named after the South Dakota politician who personally oversaw the 1920s road design, Norbeck wanted roads enhancing natural beauty rather than cutting through it. That philosophy creates spectacular riding demanding complete attention. The Wildlife Loop Road in Custer State Park is an 18-mile stretch through open grassland home to bison, pronghorn, deer, elk, coyotes, burros, and prairie dogs, best seen around dusk or dawn. During Rally Week, thousands of tourists try photographing buffalo from dangerously close range, creating traffic jams stretching for hours. Spearfish Canyon Scenic Byway offers different experience. 22 miles of relatively gentle curves through limestone cliffs, rising nearly 1,000 feet above Spearfish Creek. Well-maintained surface, predictable curves, and Rough Lock and Bridal Veil Falls provide legitimate photo stops. This is genuinely beginner-friendly compared to Needles or Iron Mountain, but statistics get uncomfortable. Of 12 motorcycle-involved traffic deaths in South Dakota during days around the 2024 rally, 7 riders weren't wearing helmets. South Dakota doesn't require helmets for riders over 18. Studies show helmets reduce fatal crash risk by 37 to 42%. Applied to those 7 helmetless fatalities, basic mathematics suggests 3 would have likely survived wearing helmets. Traffic volume creates hazards non-existent during normal season. The 537,459 vehicle count means every popular road is congested with motorcycles, rental cars piloted by tourists unfamiliar with mountain roads, and RVs driven by retirees treating speed limits as suggestions. Needles tunnels create natural bottlenecks with mile-long backups. Iron Mountain switchbacks become parking lots as riders stop mid-corner for photos. Altitude catches flatland riders off guard. Sturgis sits at 3,435 feet, but roads quickly climb higher. Needles peaks around 6,400 feet. Your bike loses power, brakes behave differently, body tires quickly. August temperatures regularly hit mid-90s, occasionally over 100. Dehydration becomes a serious concern, especially for riders mistaking beer for hydration. Most controversial is how rally culture actively encourages risky behavior. Buffalo Chip events include burnout competitions and stunt shows celebrating limit pushing. Full throttle atmosphere involves heavy drinking, then riding back to campgrounds. The entire rally aesthetic glorifies outlaws and treats safety gear as optional. This creates peer pressure, pushing riders beyond their skill levels. Highway Patrol reported 119 DUI arrests during 2025, down from 155 in 2024. That's just arrests, representing a tiny fraction of actual impaired driving. Same report showed 266 misdemeanor drug arrests and 104 felony drug arrests. The rally isn't just motorcycles, it's altered states and poor decisions. Traffic accidents surged at 2025 rally. 93 total crashes, including 66 fatal injuries and 27 non-injury crashes. Law enforcement seized $61,504 in assets, allegedly tied to criminal activity in 2024, more than 65 times 2023's total. 7 men were arrested on sex trafficking charges during 2024, part of ongoing internet crimes against children operations. This isn't vacation, it's controlled chaos where good riding happens alongside humanity's worst. If you thought the roads were dangerous, wait until you see what's happening in campgrounds after dark, because the adult entertainment making Sturgis legendary keeps lawyers busy for months after the rally ends. Sturgis reveals its split personality here. Downtown Main Street presents carefully curated motorcycle culture safe for general audiences. Bike shows, vendor booths, live music, thousands of parked motorcycles provide Instagram content. Sturgis City Code strictly prohibits public nudity downtown, requiring nipples and below stay covered on public property. This is the Sturgis featured in travel magazines, the version your spouse might attend. Then there's the other Sturgis on private property at campgrounds and venues outside city limits. The Buffalo Chip spans 600 acres built around absolute freedom concept. International bikini team competitions, wet t-shirt contests, and body paint exhibitions happen nightly. Entrance signs warn this is a 21 and over environment where you'll see things that can't be unseen. Full Throttle Saloon earned its world's largest biker bar reputation, offering entertainment existing specifically because it's on private property beyond municipal jurisdiction. Iron Horse Saloon built its entire reputation around Topless Tuesday, transforming the venue into outdoor strip club where patrons rather than performers are the attraction. Women earn beads by flashing, borrowed from Mardi Gras but without cultural celebration veneer. Body paint artists work throughout, creating designs technically counting as coverage while leaving nothing to imagination. Glencoe Camp Resort bills itself as adult only and delivers. The main road, Perverts Row, becomes nightly parade where exhibitionism meets voyeurism in ways violating multiple statutes on public property. Golf carts and ATVs cruise all night while women parade earning beads and attention. Entertainment isn't on a stage, it's everywhere. Some riders report seeing full nudity and sexual acts occurring openly. The legal distinction matters because it creates a two-tier experience. Sturgis provides municipal services, law enforcement, and infrastructure, but private entities organize the actual rally on private property. Through the 70s and early 80s, attendees camped in City Park downtown, creating concentrated revelry that concerned local residents. When a record 40,000 visitors arrived in 1980, locals became alarmed by attendee behavior. A 1982 referendum attempted shutting down the rally by withdrawing city services like parking on Main Street, law enforcement, and allowing camping in City Park, but city attorneys advised any vote would be non-binding because private groups sponsor the event. Court cases later affirmed this distinction, establishing that the city's provision of infrastructure doesn't make them the rally's organizer. The city simultaneously benefits from and distances itself from controversial aspects. The rally's most controversial element isn't nudity or drinking, it's sex trafficking that law enforcement works actively to combat. Federal agents and local partners conduct yearly operations posing as underage children communicating with people seeking to pay for sex. 7 men faced charges in 2024 operation alone. The rally's size and chaos provide cover for predators. Health risks extend beyond traffic accidents. The 2020 rally became a COVID-19 superspreader event when 250,000 participants gathered despite pandemic conditions. Cell phone data showed by August 25, 2020, 61% of US counties had been visited by Sturgis attendees. Minnesota reported 46 cases linked to the rally, including hospitalizations and 1 death. An economic analysis estimated the event could have caused 267,000 infections, resulting in $12.2 billion in healthcare costs. State officials investigated an unusual string of suspected overdose cases in 2024, including 2 deaths, with at least 12 cases showing similarly mysterious symptoms and 6 patients requiring intubation. State Public Health Laboratory couldn't pinpoint the cause, suggesting contaminated drugs circulating through the rally. Now you're getting the full picture of what Sturgis really means, but before you decide if this belongs on your bucket list or never again list, you need to understand what determines whether you'll have the time of your life or the worst mistake you've made on two wheels. Let's cut through the promotional material and bravado. The Sturgis rally isn't for everyone, and pretending otherwise serves nobody. You should absolutely attend if you're an experienced rider comfortable with technical mountain roads, capable of maintaining focus in heavy traffic, and genuinely interested in the adult party atmosphere. If your riding resume includes multiple multi-day trips, several thousand miles annually, and genuine comfort with both your bike's capabilities and your own skill level, the Black Hills will deliver the experience you're seeking. The roads are legitimately world-class. You should attend if you genuinely enjoy large crowds, constant sensory input, and environments where planning takes a backseat to spontaneous experiences. The rally rewards extroverts who thrive on chaos and have no problem striking up conversations with strangers. If your ideal vacation involves carefully scheduled activities and predictable outcomes, Sturgis will frustrate you constantly. You should attend if you're comfortable with adult content and understand that much entertainment involves nudity, heavy drinking, and behavior that would be prosecuted as public indecency elsewhere. If Topless Tuesday or Perverts Row makes you uncomfortable, you shouldn't attend a rally where those events are fundamental to the culture. You should skip Sturgis if you're a new or intermediate rider still building fundamental skills. The Black Hills will expose every weakness, and doing so surrounded by 500,000 motorcycles creates unnecessary risk. Technical sections demand first-gear slow-speed maneuvering on bikes weighing 900 pounds loaded. If you're still working on emergency braking, cornering technique, or basic control, tackle those skills closer to home first. You should skip if your budget is tight. If spending several $1,000s on 10 days creates financial hardship, that stress will undermine the entire experience. The rally culture includes expensive bikes, premium gear, and constant consumption. Feeling financially insecure while surrounded by conspicuous wealth isn't conducive to enjoying yourself. You should skip if you're seeking authentic motorcycle culture untainted by commercialization. That ship sailed decades ago. Corporate sponsorships, vendor booths selling mass-produced merchandise, and carefully managed brand experiences dominate large portions. Authentic moments exist, but require deliberately avoiding commercial areas. You should skip if you're uncomfortable with legal gray areas and actual illegal activity. Sex trafficking operations, drug arrests, and asset seizures aren't aberrations. They're predictable features of an event this size operating with minimal oversight. Law enforcement presence is substantial, but overwhelmed by sheer attendee volume. The most honest assessment: Sturgis represents specific motorcycle culture slice appealing to specific demographics. Attendance statistics show average age creeping upward, crowds increasingly dominated by affluent riders on expensive bikes. This isn't inherently bad, but it's far from the outlaw image used for marketing. The event has become largely safe and sanitized, with genuinely dangerous or controversial elements confined to specific venues rather than defining the entire experience. The ride itself justifies the trip if you're properly prepared. Iron Mountain Road, Needles Highway, Spearfish Canyon, and numerous other routes provide enough quality riding to fill multiple trips. Rally timing means sharing roads with massive traffic, but visiting during non-rally periods eliminates crowds while retaining scenery. Bottom line, Sturgis delivers exactly what it promises if you arrive with realistic expectations. Roads are spectacular and dangerous. Party is legendary and potentially hazardous. Culture is simultaneously welcoming and exclusionary. Costs are substantial and often unexpected. The experience is uniquely American in its combination of natural beauty, mechanical appreciation, and unrestrained adult behavior. Whether that combination appeals to you depends entirely on your personal priorities, risk tolerance, and honest assessment of your capabilities both as rider and someone who can handle 10 days of controlled chaos. If you can handle technical riding, afford the experience without financial stress, appreciate adult entertainment without requiring constant boundaries enforcement, and genuinely want to experience what 500,000 other riders consider worthwhile, then Sturgis belongs on your bucket list. Book accommodations a year in advance, ensure your bike is mechanically sound, pack gear carefully, and prepare for an experience that'll redefine your understanding of motorcycle culture. Just wear a helmet, ride within your limits, and understand stories you'll tell afterward might need editing depending on your audience. If you found this breakdown helpful and you're serious about experiencing Sturgis properly prepared, click the link in the description to watch my previous video where I break down the specific gear and mechanical prep your bike needs before attempting the Black Hills. I cover everything from brake pad selection for mountain descents to cooling system upgrades that prevent overheating in rally traffic, plus the essential emergency equipment that could save your trip when you're 300 miles from the nearest dealership. Before you go, do me a quick favor and hit the subscribe button. This channel exists to give you unfiltered truth about motorcycle culture, the technical deep dives manufacturers don't want you to see, and the controversial takes that actually help you make informed decisions about where you ride and how you spend your money. I'm not here to sell you on experiences you don't need. I'm here to give you the facts so you can decide for yourself whether Sturgis represents the trip of a lifetime or just an expensive way to discover you prefer riding without 500,000 other motorcycles crowding the roads you came to enjoy. Either way, I'll see you in the next video.